Welcome to the 42nd meeting of Junto Club. On this episode, we're all over the place. I sing, we talk about what it means to live in a fair world, we talk about the NBA Finals and how literally contributing even more background noise to the world can help you make money. AI is becoming more and more artistic and creative, and I'm trying to just keep up. For any questions, comments, or if you'd like to rant on something important to you, email juntoclubpodcast@gmail.com. This is Junto Club.
Junto Club.
All right, welcome to meeting 42 of the Junto Club. The Junto Club is based on the original Junto Club by Benjamin Franklin, which in the early part of the 1700s saw Benjamin, along with some of his friends, discuss things like philosophy, politics, and the news of the day in an attempt to improve themselves and learn about themselves and the world around them. So we, Matt, Shu, and Mike, I guess, take up that legacy and try to improve ourselves by talking about things that interest us. So today is probably going to be an eclectic mix of different things because we haven't talked in like 6 weeks. But the main topic or our main discussion point was supposed to be about music and singing. And because I've been trying to figure out how I can be good at it and failing. So we start every episode with a quote. So Shu, take it away.
Okay, why don't we start with you do some singing?
No, that's all right.
Give us a taste.
No, I mean, I honestly am just terrible. So I don't want to get too much into the main topic, but so I think my biggest issue was, so the purpose of me singing, I can say, is for improv, right? So it's not just like singing a song like you hear on the radio or trying to mirror that, but it's singing like you're actually inventing lyrics, to go along with music that is being played about something that is like essentially happening in real time. So I feel like that for me makes it very, very difficult. It requires too much like cognitive control to like change my voice the appropriate way, like in the moment, just because I never grew up singing or anything.
Give us an example. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, so the scene will be going on and, I don't know. So, the scene may be about we're employees at Denny's and, and basically you'll be talking about we need to, come up with a new slogan for Denny's. And you'll say, our slogan should just be 1, 2, 3 grand slam. And then the MC or the person running the show will say, that sounds like a song to me. And then you need to sing. You need to sing about 1, 2, 3 grand slam. So.
So do you need to create your own song kind of thing?
Exactly.
On the fly?
Yes, exactly.
Just because of the prompt, right? The prompt kind of thing?
Exactly. Yeah. So that, so basically you'll say something and the MC can be like, oh, that sounds like a song. And you need to sing or in some games rap. And there's a musician at the theater who will, drop a beat if it's a rap or, begin to sing or rather begin to play, like a guitar or a keyboard, and you need to follow along with the music doing that. So.
Okay. Can you at least do, oh, say, can you see?
Oh, say, can you see?
Oh, wow.
That's
actually, you have a very good big voice. That's very good, actually.
Yeah, well, that's what I can't do. I can't do it in the moment. I can sing when I'm singing a song, but I can't sing inventing it.
Okay.
So it's still a newer skill for you, right?
Yeah.
So,
right.
So you have to think about it
But like improv, you got to be able to focus on like coming up with the creative line that's funny. So you got to get your singing to the point where you can do it kind of naturally without thinking, really, right?
Exactly. Like there are a couple of people at the theater who are legitimate musicians, and it's like it seems as though it's as easy for them to sing as it is as them like to talk, essentially. Like so they're very good at like it's amazing how they can come up with lyrics like that. Like I can come up with witty things to say, but it's like they can be creative with like what they say through song. So.
I mean, how's that? You just like if you come out witty lines, right? Say, "Oh, you're fucking stupid," stuff like that. Can you just make it into songs like that?
Well, yes, but it's so I liken it to because I was always terrible at language, right? Like or like other languages, because it was like in many ways I prepped what I wanted to say in English, and then I would try to translate it into Spanish or what. I mean, Spanish is the one I studied by far the most, but like and it was like the process. So when you're sort of writing, I could write in other languages because okay, I can do that. Like I can come up with what I'm going to say in English and then just translate it basically. But when you're having a conversation, that's a lot of like the amount of cognitive like the amount of thinking that takes like I mean, if you liken it to a computer, you need a lot of RAM to do that, right? Like you need to like come up with what you're going to say. And normally you just express it, but like the cost of like that translation makes you really slow. So.
All right. Cool. Well, we'll talk about later about that.
Yeah. All right. So,
all right.
Do you have a quote or was that in place of or are we?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I say.
Oh, you do. So. Today's quote is from. I'm not sure where I got it from anymore. So the quote is: "Fairness is not always about treating every system the same." End quote.
So every system, not every person, the same.
Same thing, I guess. Same idea. Like our person, yeah.
But this sounds like commie propaganda to me. That's what.
What propaganda?
Commie.
Commie, why?
It seems like opposed to the American ideal.
Oh, really?
Of, meritocracy and, you treat everyone the same and, just boom. No, this is, I'm, half kidding here. It's kind of, this is kind of like an idea of like, this is kind of like the fundamental idea of like, doing a bunch of stuff to like help people with disabilities have greater access in like society, right? Like you don't just put a stairs and say, well, everyone can, or, there's stairs that everyone can use, right? You say, well, you put a ramp so someone who can't use stairs can still get into like the building, right? So, I think this is a pretty well, it's an idea that's, fairly popular.
Okay.
Obviously you can kind of take it to an extreme, right? But I think at least on like a basic level, most people would agree with it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That's pretty fair. What about you, Mike?
No, I agree with Matt. It's sort of, taxes, like we have the like graded tax system, because it's like, a lot of people say like, oh, just, fair taxes is everyone pays 20% or whatever. But it's like, if you're making $20,000, like, you can't afford 20%. Whereas, if like money over, $1 million, it might make sense that you can. So yeah.
So you like rich, you like taxing the rich? Is that what you're saying?
I like,
Mike is, he's reluctantly admits taxing himself is the right thing to do.
I didn't. So I said over $1 million. Just to be clear.
You've been there pretty soon, though.
Oh yeah. So everyone under $1 million shouldn't pay taxes. Is that what you're saying?
Until I'm there, yes. No, but I'm willing to pay some taxes. I didn't specify an amount, so.
Okay.
So.
All right. That's
what are
cool.
Your thoughts on it, Shu? You can't just read out the phrase.
Oh, Nathan, I guess I haven't really exposed the idea before. I mean, it makes sense to me when I read it. It just it's I haven't really thought about it like that deeply before. And I mean, not that I'm thinking about it deeply now, but it's just something that I came across. Like, oh, okay, this made me think a little bit differently. And I said, oh, okay, I always thought fairness means treat everybody fairly, right? And it's the concept, but. Yeah. So this call made me pause and talk about it a little bit. And just funny, interesting. So yeah, sometimes, to be fair, you need to be unfair to other people, some people, right? So.
Yeah. I think there's an interesting spectrum, right? Like no one would get mad at like a grandma who needs help crossing the street and be like, everyone else crosses the street on your own, do it yourself, right? Like, people will naturally be like, oh, help her out. But, I've seen people say like, smart people can often get better paying jobs because they can, get an advanced degree, right? They can become a doctor, right? You have to be fairly smart to become a doctor, and then you can get a lot more money. I mean, there are some people who will be like, well, it's not like they really did anything to become smart, right? They're kind of just like rolled the dice, got lucky when they were born. Not everyone has the skills to become a surgeon, no matter how hard they work or they want it. They're just not like capable. So they'll say, is it really fair that, this person can get like all this like wealth and prestige for something they didn't really control or do? And, that's a much more extreme version of it. It has some sense to it. I'm not saying I agree with that, but,
Well, I mean, if we look at things, it's sort of like fairness from like a utilitarian perspective a little bit. Like, like if everyone like, so I guess if you look at it like, oh, everyone's treated the same, that's more like deontology or something. But like, if we want like the most fair society, like we want to, sometimes there's like, people who might be like super well suited for something need to be treated slightly less fairly to enable like the majority to be like have access, essentially. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to like, I don't know, just what your definition of fair is. Like more like equal opportunity or equal outcomes, I guess is a good way to put it, right? Like what is fair to you?
Yeah. I think it can be a difficult question. And obviously, like, it's going to vary depending on what you're trying to do and whether you're super well suited to do it or you're, trying to do something that may be difficult and, not necessarily not something you're naturally suited for.
Well, are you talking about equal opportunity or equal results? Equal outcome?
I mean, that's the question.
Right. Right. I mean, I feel like you're like people, even individuals may have different answers depending on what they're trying to do. So.
Yeah. So are you for equal opportunity or equal outcome? Is that you saying that's the question?
Yeah. Well, I think that's close to like the fundamental question this topic brings up, right? Like what's fair? Which of those two? Also, you should lower your mic on your head.
Oh yeah, that's right. So the whole time I've been recording my voice?
No, just the last two sentences you were quiet.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, so what's the outcome then? So are you guys for equal opportunity or equal outcome?
Mike?
I mean, I like the idea of equal opportunity, but it's like I acknowledge there are situations where it's tempting to. I mean, yeah. I mean, I tend to lean toward equal opportunity, I guess. But I get like you're always going to throw out examples where equal outcome, like. Yeah, I mean, as Matt says, like, like you have the ramp, like, to make places handicap accessible. Like, I'm not going to be like, that like the extreme of like, oh, like everyone has the opportunity to get into the building because there's stairs, I mean.
Like, I think on the outcome, it's more about maybe like how much you the wealth, stuff like that, your access in the end, your job, opportunities in the end, like, what kind of job you're going to get and how much, one measure is how much money you're going to make, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or how much, the school you go to, right? Is, equal outcome, stuff like that. Those are measures, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's true. I mean, so I mean, I guess there's, but there's the question sort of within that, right? I mean, like, are we saying like equal outcome as in like, oh, everyone gets roughly the same salary? Like, or are we saying like everyone who gets a computer science degree gets the same salary? Or are we saying like everyone who gets a computer science degree from this university gets the same? Like, I mean, there's level, like, like granularity within like this. So, I mean,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, so are you for equal outcome or equal opportunity? You know what I'm saying?
What do I mean? I mean, I guess equal outcome, because like I say, it's like equal, or I mean equal opportunity, because like equal outcome is just like I don't know what, like I don't even know where that, like
how to even do it is
how to
question.
Do it. Yeah.
What about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I'm too similar to Mike, but I have to lean just towards equal opportunity, both for, probably moral and practical reasons. But I think there are some baselines of equal outcome we can establish, right? I mean, it's been a little while, but I've talked about why UBI, Universal Basic Income, would be a good idea. And what you could consider that is establishing like a baseline outcome level of like everyone gets at least this much, right? And, maybe that's not like super cushy, but like if it'd be nice if we could just say, well, everyone can at least survive comfortably. You don't have to worry about starving to death, right? Like, I think that's something we are productive enough as a society that we could do, and it would be good if we did do, you know? So I think you could get a baseline, but equal opportunity is, more practical and more useful because, well, we still want people to be motivated to, work hard to improve things, because we aren't at this sort of utopian society where we don't need people to work. So,
yeah, I mean, fundamentally, people are not created equal, right? So you cannot expect equal outcomes because everybody is different.
Well, you can't expect it naturally
for
a variety of factors, but
you can have policy.
Have it?
Yeah, no, that's not a problem. I think there's a trend in like liberal states like New York City and New York. They try to get rid of like I think in California too. They try to get rid of like the AP class or stuff like that, right? Advanced placement classes, and also like I think New York City recently tried to get rid of like gifted classes. It's basically that's one of the that's something they try to do, make it everybody almost like they try to achieve almost equal outcome, as if gifted classes is like you're giving people, right? You try like, oh, there's more higher achievers and there's other people are not achieving a different level, right? But intelligence, something else that people might just not. Everybody's different, right? People have interest in science, dance, sports, right? So you can't expect everybody to be in the same level of like achievement in one thing, right? So
yeah. So if we're willing to shift topics for a little bit, that is an issue that very much annoys me, right? Because you know why they've done it, because they're concerned about outcomes, particularly amongst different, races and ethnicities. But it pisses me off because it's a classic case of equal outcomes being problematic, essentially, because they're like, well, we're having trouble equalizing outcomes in a good way, which would be helping minority students who are like high achievers get into gifted programs so they can excel. So instead they're like, well, what if we just cut everyone down, right? Like, if we just make things worse for everyone, but then they'll be equal. I'm like, that you didn't solve the problem. You didn't help the smart, minority students get into like AP classes so they could excel. You're just saying, well, if we hurt the other kids too, we'll call it equal. That's stupid. It's avoiding the problem. It's literally just like saying, and I get it's not necessarily a simple thing to fix, but instead of trying to work on a hard problem to make things better, they're just like, F it, we'll just get rid of this. And then, it's basically sticking your head in the sand, right? To ignore the problem instead of actually addressing it. It's very frustrating to me. But yes, that is the classic, as like a perfect example of how too much focus on equal outcome, even, in a very ideal scenario, you can imagine how it's nice, but like in practical terms, it can be very, it can have a lot of issues.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. I like the rant. I like when you things piss you off.
It's pissed me off because I really liked my gifted and AP classes, and I think they're very important for like students in public schools and stuff. I think that's like a huge opportunity for kids who can't afford like it doesn't matter if your parents send you to a super pricey private school, right? With like fancy teachers. But if you go to a public school, that's often the only way you can have like decent classes. So removing that opportunity from kids is not good.
Yeah, is it implemented in university now, or is it passed, or is it?
I don't know. I'd seen some stuff about it, but I don't know the details on like where it is.
Well, that's why you're moving out of New York City.
That's the reason.
Cool.
Anyway, all right. So that was a pretty good conversation, better than most of our quotes.
Right.
So you're saying don't go with the Benjamin Franklin quotes, just go with
I think we've burned through a lot of the good Benjamin Franklin quotes, I have to say. Sorry, Ben, but
all right. So should we talk about the NBA Finals, Mike?
Yeah.
Since your team is playing.
Yeah, the Celtics 3 wins away from retaking the lead in NBA championships all time.
So we only went to game 1, right?
Yeah. So the Celtics won game 1 in Golden State, or in the, I don't remember what their arena is called, but so they just need to win 3 of the next 6. And, champions.
That easy.
Yeah.
What happened? I thought Golden Warriors,
I fully expected them to win game 1. So I honestly was looking at my phone. I'm like, Golden State had like a 13-point lead late in the third. And I was like, this is what happens. Like, cause I guess in the NBA home court, it's an interesting phenomenon that I don't necessarily have a great explanation for. Like home court in the NBA used to be like an almost insurmountable advantage. And over the course of the last decade, that advantage has almost disappeared. So like literally, like I can't remember, like I was reading ESPN the other day, and they listed off some statistics about like how in the 90s, like teams who played game 7 on their home floor, like won like 32 of 35 or something. Now it's like, and then they said since, like 2010 or something, it's been more like, it isn't 50-50, like the home team still has an advantage, but it's like 60-40. So it's like a massive shift in like the like home court advantage. So because the Celtics, like literally, like in order to get to the finals, they beat Milwaukee and Miami, so they like in their series against Milwaukee, they basically, I think they won 2 out of 3 games on the road. And in the series against Miami, they won 3 out of 4 games on the road. And then at home, they were below 500 or at 500. So
when did it start? Recently, like last 10 years, 20 years?
Yeah. It's been, so it's been much more prevalent, I think, in like the last 10 years that like home court advantage doesn't matter as much. I mean, that's been true in like hockey and stuff like that, but I mean, maybe it's just a question of like better, like they're figuring out like better communication systems and stuff. Because I know in football, that's something that like makes a big difference. Like they talk about like, home crowds make it impossible for like the defenses or offenses to like communicate and change plays at the line. And like it can fluster, like, I mean, there's the fluster factor, but you're a professional athlete. So I imagine that isn't contributing as much as just like literally like it makes it hard for the team to like get prepped. So maybe like teams.
I think probably just because the sports science are getting better, and then they have many tools probably helping them right now. Data science. To use data analytics to do analyzing stuff. Sports science, and maybe everybody just started, meditating or something, like doing yoga, so calm you down, make yourself mind,
I was wondering if it's something about just like the conditions of like their travel, like maybe they figured out how to like let players be less impacted by travel. But you think 10 years ago they would have already known that, right? Like it's, if we were comparing to 40 years ago, I could definitely see like travel being like less comfortable, but.
Well, I will say in that same time span, like the NBA has seen a pretty substantial shift, and it's the Warriors that like in how the game is played, and the Warriors really are like the team that led that. Like, cause both the Warriors and Celtics, I think, are teams that very much like quote unquote, like live and die by the three. So like both teams will shoot an outrageous number of threes in the game. And like, even if they're not hitting them, like like sometimes it's like clearly like bad strategy, like the amount of threes they take. But like, I mean, statistically, like from the data science perspective, the three is basically like the amount of points you get per 3-point shot on average is like higher than any other shot. Like they always talk about like basically shots internally, and 3-pointers are like you're sort of maximizing the points you get per shot. Like mid-range jump shots are statistically like the worst shot you can take because they're like, on average, the number of points you get for mid-range jump shots is substantially lower than those two shots. So, I mean, so the Warriors were sort of the first team, I think, the first team that I can like really like they always talked about like they just jack up threes. It's like
it's not Warrior, right? It's more like Steph Curry, right?
Well, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, like
he just throw his shots really, really fast, right? Because he can do half court shot really fast, like just like pull up those shots very fast. And of course, I think Klay Thompson is probably influenced by Steph Curry.
Yeah. I mean, he was.
He's
young, slightly newer, I guess. Yeah, but yes, so the Celtics can play a similar style now, where it's like they take a lot of threes. I was just gonna say, like the period, like we have seen a shift in the game that. Based on sort of the data and like based on how the Warriors play. And now both teams in the finals play that way. So it's possible that like, the home court factor has something to do with like that shift or, related.
So who's going to win?
I mean, with the Celtics taking game one, I'm more hopeful than I was. I mean, I think the Warriors are the favorites for a reason, but I mean,
why is Warrior a favorite?
Well, I mean, they have more experience, in the finals. They've won 3 championships pretty recently. I mean, the Celtics have, gotten to the East finals, but, I think pretty frequently they, there's some inconsistency on the Celtics end. I like Tatum and Jaylen Brown who are the Celtics superstars will definitely have off games. And, if you just think about it, I mean, the Celtics were literally below 500 in January. So it's pretty insane how much
we don't know, so we cannot think about it.
Yeah.
Man, if Boston sports superfan Mike is ragging on the Celtics this much, their outlook is grim. It seems grim.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I just mean it's like the Celtics. The only championship that I've seen them win was in 2008. So, and they were the worst team in the league the year before. And they ended up, so the Paul Pierce was like the only building block. And then in the off season, they got Garnett and Allen, and they literally went from like 26 and Yeah, I think they only had 26 wins. So 26 and what is 56? Is that 82? Yeah. So 26 and 56 to 66 and 16. And they won the championship. So like a remarkable turnaround in like 1 year. But, like this would literally be like within the same season, like with the same key pieces. They went from like a sub 500 team to like a team that had the best record from that point forward to like the champions. Like it would be very impressive. So.
How's the management team? Is it the same? Has there been major change?
So no, so they the coach the coach of the Celtics the last few for a while now. I'm trying to think how long he was the coach, and his name just left my head entirely. But the Celtics had a coach who was like, he's considered like a brilliant basketball mind, but he just couldn't. Well, like he couldn't like necessarily like he never won the championship, even though there were expectations they could. Like, so they actually promoted him to GM, and then they hired Idoka, or like I'm going to say his name wrong. So they hired a new coach, and so this is literally his first season as coach. So
I got you.
Yeah, so the Celtics have a rookie coach, which, yeah, another reason it would be exciting if they won.
Okay. So. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
When's game 2?
Tonight.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So tonight is game 2. Then the series shifts back to Boston. So.
Okay. Cool.
So where would game 7 be played?
In Golden State. So, yeah.
Okay.
So it's 2, I think it's 2-2, 1-1-1 again, but there were periods of time, and it still, so the finals at a certain point, and it could still be this way. This is something I actually don't know, but, it used to be 2-3-2 in the finals back when the Celtics last made the finals.
Both teams healthy?
I think for the most part, they're pretty healthy. The Celtics, have like one of their, like Robert Williams III, like he is one of their best interior defenders. Like he, I think, is sort of day to day and has been dealing with injuries throughout the playoffs. And Andre Iguodala is missing for the Warriors.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But okay.
Well, talking about Celtics, you can't talk about. Did we talk about Brady before? Like when he came back he announced he's gonna retire and then he came back.
Yeah, I don't know if we talked about it or not.
What happened there?
He had unfinished business, I guess.
Like what?
I mean, he needs to win.
Did he not win for November?
Well, he did win, not last year though.
Yeah, it doesn't have to, right? He won once. He can prove he can do it again.
No. I mean, I think he literally, like, I think at this point for him, it's just more like if you look at professional athletes, like beyond the age of 40, oftentimes they just like it's a rough scene. Like, I mean, if you like, speaking of the like Shaq's last year in Boston, it was like he was, he was not what he used to be. Like there was a pretty dramatic like fall off. Whereas like, and Michael Jordan, even like when he was on the Wizards, it was like, This isn't, so it's like, it's more like Brady literally was like, I mean, you could argue it, but he was pretty much like statistically one of the best certainly you can't argue he was one of the best quarterbacks statistically in the league last year. Like, and he was 44. I mean, so it's more just like, this is insane. So I think he just more wants to like be like, look at how amazing I am. But,
all right. Okay. All right. Going back to basketball. So have you heard about the Big 3 league?
The Big 3 league? No, I don't think so.
Really?
Is it just like three on three, like and one or something?
Yeah, 3-3.
Okay.
It's called Big Three. Ice Cube, the rapper actor, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he created the Big Three league actually. Like some of the former NBA players, I think Joe Johnson is one of them. So it basically tried to have a different kind of games, more like more fast paced.
Is it on the same size court?
Yeah, but more like 3-on-3. I think it's a half court. I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a half court game.
So they do the thing where you have to dribble it back to the half court, like kids used to do at recess.
I think though I haven't watched a video, but if you want to make it fast pass, I don't think it will not make sense to be full court again. I think you just have 3-on-3, which is pretty normal for a half court, right? So.
Well, I mean that is normal for half court, but if you want it fast pace, you have to have a full court. Like there's no fast breaks in a half court game.
Well, you don't need to fast break. You can just, score much faster, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Scoring more. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's always going to be a half court offense. So, I mean, I guess that would make sense if he's like recruiting maybe like retired NBA players, like,
they don't run as much.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I think they have, former NBA players, and they also have probably new young dude that did not make to the NBA, right? So.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway.
But what make
it more interesting is that they're offering like NFTs as team memberships.
Oh man. Well, now we know it's gonna fail.
No, because I think it's a good idea because so team ownership, right? Is about you buying an NFT, right? You actually own. It's like basically instead of getting the shares in the team, you actually, using, I mean, same thing, right? NFT is kind of like ownership. So you buy maybe like $5,000, you can buy $25,000 or something like that, depends how much money you put in, right? So you get different tier of like ownership, like different tier of NFT, you get different basic utility, different privilege basically, right? So, so basically it's just it's a way to basically decentralize the ownership, right? To basically have fans basically like own the team, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. I wonder what's the one thing that a lot of these have is they kind of like up front they make money, but then they promise like permanent benefits without continued revenue streams. So like, what are those privileges they're offering the owners? And, do they get like a slice if the fans sell to someone else, right? Like, is that in the NFTs? Just that's one thing that comes to mind.
Oh yeah, I think I would say you should. It's just if you own part of the team, then yeah, right?
Sorry, like I mean like the team itself, not like the fan owners, but like the organization controlling all this, right? Do they get like a 5% commission if you sell your NFT to someone else?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it depends. It depends how they design it, right? So I think they probably make it such in a way that it's valuable enough for people to buy in, basically, right? If you don't, give enough value, nobody is gonna buy an NFT, right?
Right, because I'm looking at your link now, and it's like, so the gold tier offers VIP tickets to all Big Three live games. Right. So, that makes sense. And the gold tier is it 4,500? Maybe not. I don't know. It's some amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, so you make that money up front, but then if you're offering tickets forever, right, that's clearly not like a sustainable system.
Well, if you own a team, I guess you could get. I mean, that's why it's the risk you're taking, right? So rewarding the risk you're taking because the league could implode, right? If it's not getting popular or something, right? So
yeah, I don't know.
So I'm surprised Mike never heard about the Big Three.
I mean, how new is it?
I think maybe he created in 2017. I'm not sure. Yeah, in maybe a few years ago. Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
My sports fanaticism waned heavily after probably like 2014. So. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, it's pretty juicy. I think that's what the headline says. Juicy. Yeah. So so I guess Mike, you can totally probably buy one and go to 14.
Okay. All right, I'll go and
I think you can afford it.
All right, I'll go. I mean, it sounds interesting. Like I would go to a game. I mean, but,
Yeah, probably cheaper.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I can appreciate them trying to do something, like we've had the same major sports leagues for decades, right? I can appreciate them trying to mix it up, get a new big player in there. Make basketball more fun to watch. Throw out some shots there. All right.
All right. So, I mean, the next one I want to talk about is actually how to make money in, within your podcast. One of the interesting ideas that a lot of people are making money with podcasts now is basically a lot of people are just making like white noise podcasts. Just have a podcast. No one's talking, you don't need to do, anything. Just like make some white noise and put out a podcast. Actually getting really popular now. It's like almost like big, people are making pretty big money by just making white noise podcasts. So maybe I'm thinking maybe we should just do that for Junto Club too.
I mean, people have had like white noise machines for years, right? With the sound of ocean waves or rain or whatever. But I feel like this has got to be one of those things. By the time you've seen an article on it, it's already too late, right? Like there's got to be too many people with their white noise podcasts that you wouldn't, break in and get people to listen to yours instead.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is in the same vein as like ASMR or, just people like talking quietly for, an hour on a video or something like that. Like, it's just something that's like, that I don't understand. But,
what's ASMR?
I can't remember what the name, what it stands for, but it's just like people talking quiet, like, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to show you. And it's just like supposed to be soothing to people. Like, and I don't understand why. Like, I mean, like, I understand, like, you want, like, music or like.
What do you mean you don't understand why? It was quite thooling what you just did there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just
Shu's
like,
gonna be looking this up afterwards. Like, wait a second, this is great.
Yeah, I mean, like, just listen to music. Just have like a normal podcast on in the background. It's like you don't need like people just talking quietly or like. I mean, I don't understand what like white noise or ASMR or any of it, but it doesn't do anything.
Help you sleep, right? So,
well, no, I understand because I have a podcast on to help me sleep.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah, but it's just like a normal podcast, and it's like it helps me sleep because I listen to the conversation. Like it clears my mind, and I focus on what they're talking about.
What podcast you listen to for sleep?
I mean, well, no, I normally listen to like Jim and it's a radio show technically, but Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. I'll give them a free plug.
Well, are they so boring that you actually
no
you listen to them to fall asleep?
No, I find it entertaining. It's just more like I listen, like it's just focusing on the conversation helps clear your mind. So,
I see. Mm-hmm.
So
no Joe Rogan.
No, I haven't listened to Joe Rogan in quite some time.
What happened there?
I literally only used to listen to Joe Rogan when he had a guest I was interested in.
Oh, really? Because I thought you used to like listen to Joe Rogan every day now when you're walking to the lab.
No, no. Jim and Sam has honestly been what I've listened. Well, so Jim and Sam's previous iteration was like Opie and Jim, and then before that, like Opie and Anthony. So I used to listen to that for like when.
What happened to the other guy you're listening to? No, the other comedian.
I haven't listened to like Adam Carolla's podcast in forever.
What happened?
I mean, just like honestly, his podcast often was sort of repetitive.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, he does a daily, So I mean, he does do news.
If you do daily, then yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. So
yeah. Unless you talk about news, right? It's hard to do daily podcasts if you don't talk about news events. All right. Cool. New advancement in AI, I guess. DALL-E 2. Have you guys heard about DALL-E 2?
Mm-mm.
Sheep.
No.
Wasn't it the sheep they cloned Dolly or something? Or what was the sheep?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was a shot.
This one's the DALLE, Dolly, too.
Okay. And I have not heard about it.
Yeah. I think it's called Dolly or Dolly. I don't know. So anyway, so it's basically, created by OpenAI, just released recently in May. Dolly supposedly is a text to image, right? So if you give him a prompt, you basically like create an image for you, like art, right? Like painting kind of thing, right? So very similar to your idea, actually, like earlier when you talk about your singing, right? When you do improv, like, the MC give you a prompt, also this could be a song, and then you just like using the context to create a song from the situation, and you sing about it. And this is like basically a image version of that, right? So you give him a prompt, say, hey, Kermit the frog is doing something in this situation. Draw me a picture of Kermit the frog in the form of like chocolate factory or something, right? And so they would just, the AI basically come out with image, basically output image, create it kind of, So if you go to their website, you can see all the images they created by using the prompt, which is quite impressive because it's like, anyway, so you can check it out on the website right now, actually.
So basically you're saying we can get rid of artists.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Right. So anyway, so what do you think?
An astronaut riding a horse in photorealistic styles. Yeah, no. That's pretty good. I do feel like I sort of wonder what their I guess what their like input and output, like what their training sets were, like what their data sets were and stuff. I mean, it seems like, I don't know, some of these more impressive photos, maybe, I don't know. Some of these more impressive photos, I feel like, I don't know. I'm wondering what the bad photos look like. Cause I mean, like some of these seem like they may be like very tailored to like a training set. Like, oh, this is what our training set had. And, but I don't know. Cause I guess the fox one, a painting of a fox sitting in a field at sunrise in the style of Claude Monet. Like, I feel like that's maybe more what I would have expected a lot of these to look like. Like sort of a little bit trippy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would have expected it. Like, I honestly don't know how, like this is set up, but I would have expected it like, just from my brain, it would be like, oh, they're using like, this is like sort of inputs at like a pixel level. So like, and and so basically like, you're not going to get like super fine, like, or super like high def looking type output. I mean, but some of these look essentially like.
What do you think about the one I just put in chat?
So the one you just put in the chat.
In a Google chat, in a Zoom chat.
Right. Oh wow, that's like almost like so that is very interesting. So this is
Alex Ohanian. He's the founder of co-founder of Reddit. Yeah.
No.
So he asked OpenAI and Dolly to illustrate in the fourth quarter of the Celtics versus Warriors in the other night, right?
I mean, that's I mean, that is pretty good, but I mean, it is like, that maybe is more what I would have expected, right? Like, cause it's like, you sort of are getting like warping, like you're getting like monstrous looking faces and, like hands blending in with the ball and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's, like there are some on the website where it's almost like looks like the astronaut with the horse almost looks like you just photoshopped an astronaut onto a horse and then photoshopped that into like a space background, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be like drawing, right? Yeah. Could be a picture, right? So.
Right. I guess I just
depends what your prompt is, right? If you want to put it in the style of the Andy Warhol or something, right? Then it could be a painting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, also the way they understand the style, right? Now you can draw this in the form of Monet or something, right? So.
Yeah, I guess I just wonder how many models are underlying this algorithm. Like there may be many different models.
You can put yourself on a wait list and then check it out.
Oh, they're making it open source. That's right.
Yeah, it's OpenAI.
Yeah. Well, no, but it's cool.
Okay.
I mean, it feels like, I mean, it's cool. It has some applications. I'm wondering, like, does it have any like insights into making a computer program that actually like understands language? Or is it just, like a really big mapping of like, words to images? I don't know. I assume it's some type of, do you know anything about like what type of models underlie it? Is it just a giant some sort of convolutional neural network that goes from text to image, or?
I don't know. I didn't read a paper. You can go ahead and read a paper and then
this is your topic.
Yeah. No,
I mean, they're all your topics, but
the mini topic is you don't need to go through too much detail, and that's the whole point.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's boring if you go to too much detail. It's kind of boring anyway, so no point in talking about it.
Well, no, I think Matt and I are getting at the same thing. Like, if I had to guess, this is probably like they have like some keyword identifier for like different genres, different artists, like different things that they like maybe pick out, and then they have like models trained on, like tons of images, like in that style or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
previous we talked about OpenAI have a GPT-3 or something, and they are making, telling jokes, right? So you can have a prompt, they basically come up with a joke or some kind of writing for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like an essay, like actually an article, right? Stuff like that.
No.
Right. So.
Well, they do interesting things. I mean, creativity and, computational creativity is cool, but it is a hard problem. But
I mean, yeah. And can they make AI and actually understand stuff? And that's kind of, I don't know. That's kind of hard, right? Is philosophy? It's almost like a philosophical question. Like, what do you mean by understanding, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah, like consciousness. Like, what the hell do you mean by consciousness? Like, can you make a robot that actually is conscious? But I think there's no point in doing that. As long as you make it do useful stuff, that's all you need, right?
That's true. That's fair enough.
I mean, evolution baked in a lot to our brain, so we're just baking that that stuff into AI.
No.
So
cool.
That's a weird phrase, baked into our brain. Who decided on that?
I don't know.
Whatever. This is gotta be the shit when people are learning English. We're like, what do you mean bake into someone's brain? Like, that's not what bake means.
It's a metaphor.
It's like, how you bake a cake? It's a metaphor. Yeah. Well, imagine if you stuck the information to your brain and put your
I think it's probably a Boston way of saying stuff.
Yes, because we have baked beans.
I feel like it's pretty, universal. I've definitely heard that in other areas, but it's just weird.
Yeah, they're probably from Boston.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe.
yeah, Boston. There's lots of people who leave Boston. So,
the smart ones.
Hey-o.
Speaking of Boston again, should we talk about mass shooting and gun control then?
Was there one in Boston?
No. It's just a poor transition.
Okay.
Speaking of places who haven't had mass shootings,
I mean, you can speak of Boston and talk about anything.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So, so there have been.
Or should we talk about exploding kittens first?
That sounds like a topic that's fast, so sure.
Do you know what that is, Mike?
No.
It's the card game. I'm not sure why this is on the list.
Because I just heard about it yesterday.
Oh, yeah? Have you played it?
No.
I've played it a few times. It's fun. It's like a very casual, easy card game. It's good for parties, right?
It's like Cards Against Humanity.
Kind of. I mean, it doesn't play anything like it, but it fills a similar slot of like games at the appropriate time, right? Yeah. I don't, we're really, we talked about how we're trying to imitate the Junto Club and like learn more about the world. I feel like lately we've been falling a little short of those ideals. Exploding Kittens being a prime example.
What do you need? These are actually what's going on in the world. So it's culture, right? So we need to educate ourselves about this culture stuff.
Okay.
Exploring the world. Now, if you don't know Exploding Kittens, you probably don't understand the world. That's the whole point.
Maybe. Well, if there is like kind of like, I don't know, in like the last 10 years, there's been like a kind of surgence of like board and card games and like new people developing them and more people playing them again, right? Like it's kind of grown. I feel like I know a lot of people who like collect board games now and like want to play as groups and things. So.
Oh, it definitely got exploded after
Catan was like
pandemic,
one of the early big ones. Well, no, this was before. I mean, pandemic maybe helped, but like this was before the pandemic too, right? Like there's been like a growing subculture of like board games as like a group hobby interest.
All right, mass shooting then.
Blank. I guess you guys don't know. That's fine. Y'all go watch basketball while the cool kids go play, Catan and Exploding Kittens. Come on.
All right. Well, next 2 weeks or whenever the episode, tune in to Matt covering card games.
We're not going to cover card games. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
All right. So mass shootings, yeah, they're happening again.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
So what about the gun control again? The issues. I mean, I think we talked about it many times before, but sensible gun control? Is that sensible to do that?
I mean, depends what. It does feel a little bit like the gun control debate has a little bit more sticking power. Like there's definitely been other times where people like bring it up after a shooting and it feels like most just dismiss it. But in this case, it feels like I see it sticking more. Like,
what do you mean?
Like I feel like it's more likely at least some gun control measures get passed because of it.
What Democrats are proposing right now?
I mean, I think one of the most common things is, just assault weapon ban style things, which is like, rifles that look like ARs and have big magazines and whatever.
Is that reasonable? Because I hear it a lot too from other people. Now, this is like kind of common sense, right? What do you think? I think you mentioned. I remember you saying something counter example to that. Like that's not really a great idea.
I feel like there was the one we had in the past, and a lot of the stuff in it seemed like kind of pointless. Like,
what do you mean?
Like the same exact gun that shoots the exact same bullets. If you basically changed how it looked, it would be banned or not banned. Like literally, like a wooden stock would make it a hunting rifle, and like a plastic stock would make it like a military assault weapons thing. So, but I don't know. I've also seen mixed evidence presented that it did or did not help, right? It's a very complicated thing to interpret the data on stuff like that, trying to tease out what was causal or not in terms of did the assault weapon ban, do things. So, I mean, I feel like probably the most directly impactful one would be to have more power to have the government be like, you're suspicious, people are reporting you, we're going to like take away your guns and block you from getting them and maybe lock you up. But, that's kind of like the slippery slope, right? No one loves the idea of the government being able to just sort of like preemptively taking away, your rights. But, it seems like, how else can you deal with crazy people who are going to,
But I think what I heard is, and they do have that already. Now, even in the case in, what's the school in Texas, right? I think the person was in something like that already, right? And somehow they was like for the past 2 years or something, and then somehow it just did not get, you can still sleep through that, right? So.
Yeah. I think I've seen that before where they're like, whether they were being like investigated or were suspicious or just had people report them. Like a lot of these shootings, people did have something like that. So then there's an argument that like should we have like stronger enforcement of things like people have reported you as being potentially dangerous, right? Like, we're going to like, not allow you to buy a gun when you normally would have. I don't know. Other people are just like, that's too difficult. We just have to get rid of all guns, but that's very relatively unpopular. And I don't think that's going to happen. So,
well, it's also hard because there's 300 million guns or something in the country.
Yeah. And a lot of people who would literally not allow you to take their guns without a fight. So,
right.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
But this one's been really distracted by how bad of a job the cops did, right? Like, I feel like gun control's still been like a pretty big like thing, but number one is, what were the cops doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, what happened? What happened there?
So you haven't like read or heard about this much? Or?
I heard it took like 45 minutes for them to go in or something, and then now I feel like now they just like blaming for radio. There's something wrong with that radio.
Yeah.
There was, I believe they were at least initially they were saying it wasn't ruled like an active shooter type situation, which allowed so basically your training tells you if it's an active shooter, breach is, engage as soon as possible because that's what ends it. But they, I guess, were working under the protocol of this is a hostage type situation or something. Mm-hmm. So essentially, if you breach, you risking lives rather than saving them. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty clearly just bad, just bad work. So.
Yeah. I did read something about, I think they said maybe the police chief possibly said it's a hostage situation, but everyone could hear firing continuing to go on. So it doesn't really make sense.
Right.
But it makes you question, was it just the police chief who's just made a terrible call, or were all the cops just afraid to go in and do something? But, they had basically, the cops basically stood outside for an hour. At some point, a mom ran past them and got her own kids out. Mm-hmm. There's possibly one of the cops got the cops' children out earlier on, went into the school. But this is, it hasn't been confirmed, but this is something that got passed around early, that a cop apparently might have done that. And then they didn't go in to deal with the shooter. So possibly happened. And then the end result was a off-duty border patrol agent, who had driven 40 miles, went in against the wishes of the police and shot the guy who was doing the shooting. That's the only reason it stopped when it did.
Damn.
Right? So, it's a very bad look for the police right now. It's what the heck were they doing besides trying to stop people to go in and deal with it? So.
Right. No, I mean, it is you just wonder because I mean, even I think this has come up in previous mass shootings, but it's literally the way it is terrifying. It's hard for me to say. 'Cause it's obviously if I were in a situation like this, what would I do? I don't know. But I'm sure it's a terrifying thing, but it's time and again, basically they say just try to charge the person, try to have people go engage the person, because oftentimes if enough people do it, either you get them or they off themselves. So it's sort of you need to engage the person in some capacity. So it's if you're police with guns, yeah, I get it's terrifying to face a shooter, but it's if you can even if two of you go in, two of you go in and you sort of try to stay away from the fire, if you start shooting at him, there's a decent chance he may shoot himself, or he may at least stop shooting children.
Yeah. So how come they're not even sending a robot in? Totally just saying a robot in, right?
Well, it's a small town, right? So if you told me their department didn't have a robot, I feel like that's very likely. But
everybody have a DJI drone now, big in China.
But apparently 40% of the town's budget goes to the police, and they had pictures from a month or two before that of their SWAT team of 9 people after they had done and stuff. So the big, and I mean, Mike makes a good point. How many people would be willing to run under fire? Obviously it's understandable that someone might not want to do that, but it's well, if we're paying the police a lot of money and giving them armor and guns and all this like equipment and training, like isn't that literally their job? You know, isn't this like the premier time for them to use this training and money that they were given, you know, to do this? Or at least just, you know, if you're too scared, just hand the parent a gun and say, okay, go save your kid. Like, come on.
Right. Yeah. Cause I feel like I don't know if this is true. But initially I heard that like the mother who went in and saved her kid, like she was actively like restrained by police before.
Yeah, no, there's videos of it. They were like restraining parents because parents were like, if you're not going to go in, we're going to go in basically. And they were like not allowing them, which makes sense. If the police were going in, right? Like you don't want random parents running around when the police are trying to deal with the situation.
Right.
But,
yeah.
It's not that you want unarmed parents running in to deal with it, but if the police aren't, that's kind of like, well, that's, I guess, it could help, right? Like if enough people charge a shooter, even unarmed, they're going to stop them. So
what's the reason they didn't go in? I still don't get it.
We don't 100% know. Maybe
there's an investigation.
Maybe they thought it was a hostage situation, or someone thought it was, and just so they were playing it out like that. Maybe they were just too afraid of getting shot. It is unknown. Yeah,
but it just makes no sense because it is very like unless yes they thought it was a hostage situation which as you say it's like hard to believe that, but but I mean basically it's just like. I get you to like, even if you just like sort of shoot in the area, it's like a lot of these people do kill themselves as soon as they like meet with any kind of resistance. So it's like, you know, just give them some kind of resistance, even if you're afraid.
Yeah. So. I mean, like, I don't know. The mother who was running around the school, she's like, she could hear where the bullets were coming from, right? So she could kind of knew where the shooter was and like avoided it when she was like going to one of her kids and stuff. It's like, you know, yeah.
Did she save her kid?
Yeah, she got her kids out. Her kids were fine. Yeah. Obviously not every kid was fine though.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like, I don't know, even at least they claim they had them like locked down to one classroom. At some point, they claimed they had him locked to one classroom, but the story has shifted, so it's not clear what really happened. But like, even if you believe, like he shot everyone in that classroom, right? Like, real life's not video games. You don't like go to 0 HP and die, right? There could be like kids bleeding out who are already shot, even if he was done. And saving them, getting to them half an hour earlier could easily be the difference between them living or not. So, yeah, it's just crazy. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sure we're going to get more information over time. But
yeah. No, I mean, it's it's a terrible thing. And it's sort of like, I don't necessarily have a good answer because it's like obviously other countries don't necessarily deal with it to the degree we do, like at all. But like, but it's also like there's a very different relationship with guns here. There's more guns here, like that are going to be harder to take away or buy back or anything like that. So it's, obviously other countries do deal with other things that we may not deal with. So it's, it seems like a difficult thing. So
anyway, talking about guns. Have you guys watched Top Gun?
Top Gun?
Yes.
Top Gun.
I don't think I've probably seen some of it on like TV when I was younger, but I don't think I've ever actually properly watched it.
Yeah. I mean,
have you seen Top Gun 2? The new one?
No. I mean,
are you going to?
I've heard it's good, but probably. I haven't been to a movie in forever.
Oh. Top Gun 2 might be worth watching, and I heard it's very good. Yeah? You make you feel like, go USA and stuff like that. Make you feel very patriotic after you go see it.
Do they bring Tom Cruise back?
Of course, it's the whole movie. It's all about Tom Cruise.
Okay, isn't he too old to go into a fighter jet now? Like,
not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Tom
right. Cruise. He's like Tom Brady, right? So,
is this what you need? Just your name to be Tom, and then you can do your job forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I've heard, like, a lot of people have been saying, like, it's been, how long has it been? Like 40
30
years?
years?
Or
40
30
years?
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
I can't believe it's like 40 years. Yeah.
When did the original Top Gun come out?
Probably in the 90s.
Yeah,
This is
so
a
like
quick
30.
Google search.
Yeah. So.
Not the 2022 one. Give me the original one.
Yeah.
1986.
Yeah,
So,
it's almost like 40 years.
yeah, and it's like so it's been like 36 years, and people are like, it looks like Tom Cruise has aged like 30 days.
They probably use a lot of makeups.
Yeah, so.
CGI or Scientology? Which one?
That's right.
Scientology, probably.
Yeah, should join the church.
Yeah, so, yeah, Phaetons. You get those Phaetons out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't argue with results, Mike.
That's true. No, I mean it's true. I mean the spokespeople of Scientology, generally speaking, fare pretty well. So.
That's an interesting way to phrase that.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's time for Mike doing some singing and dancing.
Singing and dancing? No.
Yeah. Don't you need to dance on improv too? Like,
I guess that can come up, but
maybe they should make that as a required skill too.
No, I mean it's they have one game that they will usually reserve for late night shows because it's really dumb. Mm-hmm. And it's like they'll play a song, and like you have to do like an interpreted dance to the song. But so
Matt, do you have anything you want to talk about before we move on to Mike's main topic?
No, I'm good.
All right. Yeah. Well, the main topic, I don't know that it'll take a super long time, but so, basically like I wanted to sort of talk about like music as a whole, because I know Matt isn't necessarily an interesting case because I've known many people at least several people like this, but you don't really listen to music, right?
Yeah, not like very rarely do I on my own decide let me go put on a song.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't have a favorite song? Like you don't even have a what's your wedding song?
I mean, we had a bunch of songs at our wedding.
But did you pick by you though?
Not really.
Like you don't listen to music when you're working out, No. What about when you're sad?
No. So I'd like to clarify that I can really enjoy music, especially like with movies or TV shows when they combine, they can definitely add to the emotional experience, right? You watch something that's really awesome, it has good music going with it, and then occasionally it's I feel like it also makes the music better even when you hear it on your own because you associate those feelings. But it's not like I don't like music. It's just I don't like it enough to bother doing it.
You don't even stream music and songs on Spotify?
Pretty much never. I've tried it a few times, just occasionally when I'm bored or something, but yeah.
Not even Tay-Tay?
Not even Tay-Tay. Anyway, back to Mike.
Yes. So I guess we're getting into this a little bit. So I wanted to start with why do we like music? Why is this a thing that people want to see or performed in improv or, as you say, why do people love music festivals? So why is music such an important piece of our culture? And I mean, literally since, we became people.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, so we've talked about sort of the, it's a connection experience, right? Music conveys emotion. So literally listening to a song can help you relate to the person singing it. I mean, as you said, if you listen to it when you're sad, it's you're connecting another person, I guess, if you're listening to sad music in theory, that person felt the same way you do. So it's a way of relating, which can, help people heal. So there's a lot of theories sort of around, that connection experience. And and that's part of the reason we really enjoy music. And some of the music.
I thought it's more about feeling emotions, no? You mean connection between each other?
I mean, so I think there's the like sort of live music gives you the connection of like the people around you.
Yeah.
But I mean, also like listening to music, like the artist, you're connecting with that artist, right? And it's in a certain sense.
Okay.
Because the art, like if you are listening to sad songs, like if you have a breakup and you're listening to a breakup song, it's like you're sharing that negative emotion with like the artist who had a similar experience. So it's like human, it's like connecting on, with another person.
Gotcha.
So, and just because I'm always interested in the brain, like the connection experience. So like neuroscientists like have tried to like pin down a little bit like about how this happens in the brain. And like oftentimes when people are listening to music, they, basically, have found like networks in the brain active that like are associated with like pattern guessing. Like, so like you're trying to like follow along and like guess like essentially like how the music is playing out. And like when, essentially in music you'll find like, the idea would be like you guess the pattern, like, you're able to follow it easily. And so that again is you're sharing the experience, like you're connecting with the artist and, that, releases dopamine and activates reward systems. So in any case, so the emotional connection and sort of the common experience, is how we like or why we like music, or at least that's the theory.
So it's all about a dopamine.
It's all
Isn't
about the
everything.
Yes.
Anyway.
So
it's all about the D.
Yeah. So what makes one good at music? So what would make someone good at music?
Does that
Someone
mean
have musical talent, I guess?
Well, based on your theory, being predictable.
What do you mean? Being predictable?
Well, you've heard of the notion of something being catchy, right, Shu?
Yeah.
So, I mean, coming up with, I think certainly like, there are types of music that like are like a little bit different, right? Like metal, like hell didn't choose, me, or, I didn't choose hell chose me, and it's sort of like I think that's like conveying like obviously like it's like maybe targeted at more of like an angrier audience or something like that. So that's a way, but I think music for a lot of like pop music, right? Like it's catchy riffs. That's what people talk about, right? So I think those types of patterns like are going to be easy to follow and convey, maybe more of like an upbeat, like, so patterns that are easy to follow and conveying like maybe some of the more common and less extreme emotions. So sort of like I'm happy or I'm relaxed or I'm, or I'm sad, but like, but it's done in like a consumable pattern. Right. So that would be like, I guess what would be catchy. Right. So, cause like, so when I sort of set out like on like, oh, how do I like get good at singing? The advice is relatively straightforward, right? So
Sing more?
Well, yes. That essentially is it. But basically, what does it mean to be like catchy or like be in tune or things like that? Literally it's just, music is being played like at a certain pitch, right? And pitch can help to dictate like the emotion behind the music. Obviously there's things like pacing and loudness and things like that can help contribute to like the emotional content. But one of the biggest things is singing in tune, which means matching the pitch of what's being played. So like when I downloaded like help me sing apps, like basically all of them are like started with just like, hey, do you hear the difference between these pitches? Like, is this pitch higher or lower? Is this pitch going up or down? And it's like, and basically like as you progress in like lessons, it's like, oh, these pitches are getting much closer to each other. Or these pitches, like the movement of the pitch or, like the up and down movement of the pitch is more subtle. Like, and can you hear that? And it's like, I'm not technically tone deaf. So it's like, I can hear it. Like, it's like, I can't hear it, but it requires like a fair amount of effort. Like when you first get going to hear like particularly as the pitches get close, like, is this pitch higher or lower? It's like, let me listen to it like 4 times. And then it's like, I think it's higher. And, so that is one aspect. Like, can you literally hear the difference? Or can you hear the pitch? Can you hear how the pitch is changing? And basically, people who may be more like gifted at music, like just naturally, or have begin music earlier in life, probably can pick up on that much easier than someone who's like later in life and trying to learn how to sing or, follow music. Cause it's just like, if you hear like I think at least in my theory, I think when it comes to like consuming like emotional content, like if, I think you don't need super, super fine, like granularity when it, like you can sort of say like, oh, this person's voice is like very high pitched, or something. And like, maybe they're like a little bit nervous or like this person's voice is maybe like lower pitched and they're upset, right?
Do you have some example?
What do you mean?
Like more scenario, I guess. Like when you use it in improv, right?
Right. Well, I guess. So, are you saying like the emotion?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, overall, right? Like what the point you're making right now.
Yeah. So I guess I'm saying like, so I guess the point I'm making is that
your theory, right? Your theory of,
So I think if you're a singer, you can probably appreciate like a much finer gradation of pitch.
Okay.
And follow along with changing pitches that are very close to each other, which can help you sing, which can help you match those pitches. If you're not well practiced in like singing or like, you don't super actively listen to music. So if you're not a musician.
So like, is that, are you getting better at singing now? You think?
I'm getting better at picking up on things. Like,
so how were you singing before you like learning about the pitch thing, like match the pitch, the tune to the music? So can you give an example like what happens when you don't do that, and then we example that you do when you do that?
So sure. One of the big things, like, so when people are like so think of a basic song. You have like verse, chorus.
Right? No, just do say, can you see? Just use the national anthem.
She's tired of you rambling, Mike. He's trying to get you to sing.
Right. Well, okay, but like,
I just want something concrete, right? It's hard for me to follow what you are talking, like just talking about abstract ideas.
Well, so the national anthem does not have a chorus, right? But like, I'm trying to, what's a famous song? So like, what's a song you guys know?
My Heart Will Go On.
All right. My Heart Will Go On. Does that, I don't know it.
Oh, so next to, I love you tomorrow, I love you, something like that.
Okay.
It's one of the songs I learned when I was actually in beginner choir in high school.
Oh, okay. So the
first year, I don't know
right?
why. Oh, I try to improve my English, so maybe beginner choir is good. So There's one of the song like I love you tomorrow or something like that. And then also I learned like oh my heart will go on and then something else. Hallelujah,
okay,
maybe. I
so
don't know.
the Annie song, right? So the Annie song, like tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a day away, right? Like that,
okay.
like that's the chorus you return to, right?
Okay.
Like so that is repeated throughout the song at different time points, correct?
Yeah.
So like there are verses that I'm less familiar with that like may only appear once in the song, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So the music accompanying the verse and the music accompanying the chorus are going to be different.
Okay.
Yes.
So the timing and pitch of those like distinct part of the songs are different.
Yes.
So if you're able to recognize the pitch of the music, like this is important in improv, and this is something I blow at in improv, is like, like you need to be able to like fall like, oh, okay, like this is the music, like this is the pitch of the music happening during a verse. And this is like in the timing of that, like, so it's like, so I need to be able to match my voice to the pitch for the verse. And I need to be able to time myself so the length of the music during the verse like it goes well with what I say or what I sing. But so then when the pitch changes to the like so to the or the music changes, so the pitch and everything is changing to a chorus, like you then go into the chorus you establish at sort of the outside, like an improv, it's often at the outset of the song.
Stupid question. I thought improv, you don't play music, right? You don't really play like music.
You did.
There's no like song, like background music, right?
Oh no, there is.
Oh, there is. So you need to match your.
Yes, there is a musician who will begin playing music. So that is, and so I mean, there.
So that's when you break into songs.
Yes. So basically,
I just don't remember that part. Okay.
So for improv, you really only need the basics, right? Like, because you don't need to worry about the tone of your voice sounding professional. No one really cares. But if you can match the pitch of the notes, right? So you're not just singing random sounds, but you're like in tune with the, guitar or piano or whatever. Then for most people, that's like good enough. Now you can layer your funny line on top of that.
Exactly. Your voice can suck. It's just more about matching the pacing of the music and getting the pitch. So it's just not like random. Yeah. Just like
random noises. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, realistically, it's more about having, so part of learning to sing is recognizing pitch. And that is honestly probably going to be more important if you want to be a good singer. So you can like recognize, is my voice like, changing with the music. But in improv, it's more about maybe even having just like assuming the musician is doing something simple and keeping the music at pretty like stable pacing and pretty like stable pitch. Like it's more about just like, can I sing at the same pitch? Like,
so I'm going to ask a question. You keep like, you wouldn't sing at the same, every note that goes up or down has a different pitch, right? The pitch is like the frequency of the note. So it's not like there's going to be no music where you sing at one pitch because the notes are good. Every note's going to be different generally, most of them, right? Is it just maybe it's just a wording thing? I'm just double checking, right? We're having the same conversation.
I guess I should say like you can move in like a small area, right? So it's not going to be like, like Mariah Carey or someone who was known to be able to go from like super low to super high to like basically when I guess when I say stable pitch, it's like I can sort of just sing like I can sort of sing in this little range, right? I'm not going to go from like I'm not going to go full musical theater and just like, like belt out like certain notes and then like bring it low and be like, like super like like, I don't know, what is it, tenor or something that's like sings on the low end of the scale. So basically it's just like you need to be able to like work in that like a small range, I guess, assuming the musician keeps things simple. So that is the other part of these music apps, is like basically like they first try to identify, like they're like, sing something, and they try to like identify your key, which is like the range of pitches you should be singing in. So and basically like they're like, all right, just try to like keep the same like sing and keep the same pitch, and then like bring it like a little lower and a little higher, and just like see if you can just like sustain pitches. That way it's like if you're singing, if like, you start somewhere and the music, like you start singing and you notice the music's like pitch going like lower, then you can go a little lower. Or if you notice it going higher, you can go a little higher. And then it's just like basically like, you sing well, like, or you sing, and just follow like the relative pitch of the, the music. So from what I've found, my ability to sustain the same pitch is fucking zero. Like,
really? I thought that would be the easy part.
It for me, I don't know. Like I'm still.
I mean,
working.
I've never sung though, so
Yeah. So like I don't know. Like on these apps, it's just like you sort of see like, okay, I started here and then like I drop down and then it's like I'm above it, and then so it's very hard for me to like sustain a pitch. So,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So,
That like interesting. If it plays a pitch, I imagine if it plays a pitch, you can match to it fine. Like you could sing and keep it, but just on your own, it's hard to keep it stable.
Yeah. So I mean, so the way these apps work, it will often like play the pitch and then like you sort of take over and try to like sustain it. So it's like, yeah, I guess I need my like Jake, who's been on the podcast, like he's the musician at the theater, so I need to work with him, like, because he like but he like if with him having background music, I imagine it might be easier, but I honestly don't know, because like I sort of referenced earlier, like when I was learning a foreign language, my sort of default thing was basically like, this is what I want to say in English. Like, let me translate like line by line. And then, here's my output in Spanish. Like with me, and it makes it very hard to have conversation, like flowing conversations when you do it like that. So, I mean, I feel like I can do the same thing with music, right? Like, this is my, what I want to say. And this is like, now I'm encoding it in, this like, in the pitches that, it should be in, with the timing that it should be in. And then by the time I get to actually, voicing it, like I'm behind the music. Like I'm just like the timing is totally off because of that like extra step of like encoding it in the pitches and timing that it should be in to match the music.
Yeah.
So I do think it's just more of a question of like it becoming like second nature to like sort of do that encoding.
Yeah.
So
to just match your singing to the background music, basically. Like just if you can do that really quick, then yeah.
What's an app you using? Called Help Me Sing Better? Something
No. I mean, that was just my
category of apps.
Yeah. So I mean, it's let me just see.
I don't even know there's apps that can help you sing better. That's cool.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. Yeah, I didn't know they had them, but
Voice Plus.
Yeah,
we've talked about this before, but like for learning, feedback is really important. So like, there's that phrase like the hands can never surpass the eyes, and that like what you do can't surpass like what you can see in terms of if you've done it right or wrong.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense, like focusing first on being able to hear pitch as good as possible. Because if you can tell, like if you get to the point where you can hear pitch really well and you can just tell, oh, I'm a little low, then you'll get very natural at just adjusting. Like if you can tell you're off and which way you're off, your brain will automatically have you adjust to fix it, right? Because if you play a note like half a note less than something, well, it's pretty grating, right? But like you got to be able to like at least recognize which direction it is to be able to, correct.
Yeah. I mean, they very much recommend, like, at least in the beginning to, like, actually record yourself, because obviously, like, that will help. Like, I mean, I guess that will help if you're in my situation where it's, like, in real time. It's like there's so much, like, you're doing so much thinking just to produce the sound that you're not going to be able to hear it in real time. But if you're able to hear it after the fact, then you're like, all right, I was like clearly high there, clearly low, or, clearly all over the place. Like, so it's, basically you can make the adjustment, and then like when you start hearing yourself, it retrospectively, like, oh, I'm getting pretty good. Then that may, you may be in a place where it's like, okay, I can begin to listen more, like in real time. So. Yeah, because I honestly feel like that is my biggest issue with this basically I'm thinking about what to say. Like I'm in my head rather than being rather than listening to the music. And that, because like basically I consume the music, go into my head, and by the time I'm like singing, the music has moved on. So
well, I feel like you have to be in your head for the improv part, right? Like if you can't just come up with clever lines like free form, I assume. Like I feel like you need to be kind of.
So that is a discussion, like a lot of people, like, there are some people at the theater who really hate, like who can sing, like, and can do the musical stuff and are musical, like they follow the music, but what they what they say is not as well
matched to the song.
Well, no. Like their singing is good, but like what they say is not necessarily as what's the word I want to use here? Like, I mean, censored is, well, I mean, in some cases it is censored. Like they'll come out, like they'll say something horrible that they would have otherwise censored because they're just like trying to follow the music. Like they're just spitting whatever comes out, basically. But I curated, I guess would be the word. Like, what they're saying isn't necessarily as well curated as like it otherwise would be if they were just speaking. Because yes, they're like they're just singing. And
you're constrained. You're constrained, right? Your word choices are constrained, limited, because you had to sing it.
So yeah, I mean, I think sort of like as what Matt was getting at, like the cleverness is limited. Like, so like what you're actually like the content, like, so this is, this is, I guess,
your vocabularies are limited in a way.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there is definitely a trade-off between content and, like singing. Because, or at least until you're like really, really solid at, at like consuming the music and putting it out. Because like, like I think, like, I mean, obviously like the areas for speech production overlap heavily with musical production. And I think, the areas that like are, I keep using the word consume. It may not be right, but like the word, like the areas that are, for consuming sort of like the music, are going to overlap heavily with like sort of speech understanding, as well. So I think that,
you mean processing? Like consuming is more like processing the music?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the processing areas are overlapping heavily. So, I mean, it's literally like you only have a certain amount of resources to output what you say. So it can be very hard to be like as clever or as like, I guess it's hard for the content to be as good when you're singing as when you're just talking. So. So
until you not master, until you make basic singing natural and something you don't have to think about.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yes. So that is basically where I'm at in the process. Is I'm trying to match tone and get better about pacing because. And I'm trying to like also, I guess another piece of it, right, is to make it as simple as possible. Because like if you're rapping, for example, the inclination is basically you want to rhyme, like, you know, because that, you know, basically rapping is notorious for like, you know, you want to hit rhymes. So, so like basically allowing yourself not to rhyme is like an important piece, right? Like, so again, like simplifying content, because if you try to rhyme, if you try to have good content, if you're trying to follow the music, it's just going to be a disaster. So, I mean, if you like singing and rapping, like oftentimes, like I feel like I will like part of my issue on stage is I will still like, because I pride myself on content, like I like my witty stuff. So it's like, I will often try to keep the content, and that will mean like my music, like I look like an ass, just like with like cause my musical, like I'm not following the music at all. So it's like,
do you have an example of that?
We need to upload videos of your improv performances.
Can you think about occasion that you were doing that?
Well, I mean, like I think
the content and then destroying it.
Like the last show I was in, it was like they called, like I had a rap battle someone, and it was like, you know, and it was just like I think like you get the first two lines in, and it's like, okay, I like did it.
What was the topic of what's the scenario?
So
the battle.
It was actually a scene about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Oh, perfect. That should be our main topic. Everybody was crazy about it.
So I mean, like you get a couple lines into the rap battle, and it just goes off the rails. Like,
now, how did it start? Give me the full picture.
Well, so I believe the scene started with Amber Heard defecating on
defecating? You mean pooping?
Yes.
What the heck? Why? Who came out?
Came out in the trial.
Oh, really? Oh, I did not follow the trial, so I didn't know anything about it. You guys following it?
Not really.
I mean,
might follow you more.
I mean, I followed it to the point that I heard that, but
so now yeah.
I mean, like I didn't watch any of it. But
wait, how did it come out? What do you mean? Like, how did that come out?
Everything came out. I mean, literally.
But I know, but what's the context on the trial? Like, why did that come out? Like, why didn't they talk about that in the trial? What's the context in the trial? Then they talk about that.
What I think it was just they talked about like how like toxic and irrational behavior, like both of them had. So there was, you know, talk about drug use. There was talk about like pooping in beds. There was like
what? Yeah. Johnny Depp or Amber Heard?
I believe Amber Heard. So
really?
Yeah.
That's
yeah. So there. Yeah, so that was, I mean,
but that's from Johnny Depp is claiming that she does that. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was part of the video. I have no idea. I mean, there was lots clearly
juicy stuff.
Yes, I mean the trial. Yes, the trial had a lot of juicy stuff in it. So
okay,
but
all right, go ahead.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean that I guess. So I will generally. I have a problem letting the content go, right? Or the content piece of it to go. So.
Yeah. So going back to the scene, I guess the scene is started with like Amber Heard defecating or something. Yeah. Then what happened?
So Amber Heard defecated on a bed, and then Johnny Depp said like something to the effect of like, "What are you doing?" Like, I have an audition, and then she abuses him.
What do you mean abuses him?
Like, I think she, like, mangled his fingers or something.
Really? She's not strong?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, this is not based necessarily fully on reality, but like,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
so basically,
But I mean, I'm assuming that was part of the trial, and he was claiming that she had done it to him, right? Abuse him.
well,
physically.
yeah, no, I mean, there were definitely, I mean, both of them, I believe, had accusations of like
Gotcha.
physical and verbal abuse.
Okay. Going back to the scene, what's next?
I mean, it was like a 2-minute scene. It was a repeat scene. So
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, so basically like every time, like we had to repeat it. Like, so basically, I mean, like I said, it was a very quick scene where it was like basically, she started up, like Amber Heard started off pooping. Then then like like Johnny Depp came in and was like, hey, what are you doing? You're ruining the stuff, like, for my audition. And, then she did cocaine and abused him. And every time we had to repeat it in like a different style or with a different type of challenge on it.
So what's the rap battle about? What do you mean? Where does the rap battle come in from this scene?
So it's a repeat. So it's a repeat scene. So like basically that means we did that. The first scene was done just as a regular scene with two people talking. Then the repeat is you need to repeat it, but as a rap battle. So literally like the lights go down and like Jake, the musician, like starts playing a beat. And you need a rap battle the entire scene.
So how do you need, can you do the rap battle then? Like,
well, I mean, I
want to hear the rap.
Well, it was like so I mean, I was most proud of I'm most proud of content, but so I'm trying to remember because like I say, usually I can start raps off okay.
All right.
Tell
me the content, then you can rap it.
Well, yeah, no, but what do you mean? I mean, the content was the same. Like,
the
lights come up.
Okay, nice. So tell me to rap. I guess I still don't really quite understand how the rapping works in this scenario.
What? Oh, because like so in the initial scene, right? Amber Heard would be taking a dump on the bed. And like the person acting as Johnny Depp would come in and say like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're ruining my like, you're ruining, my, like all the, you're ruining my script for the audition. I'm supposed to be there. Like, what are you doing? And she would, like she would do a line of coke, like off her finger and, like, and she would say, oh, shut up. Like, like get away from me, and like he would say, Amber, I can't take it anymore. And she would come back and say, listen, listen, you're my little bitch. Like, I don't care about your audition. And she would like mangle his fingers or something. Right. So the rapping, like literally all of that, what was just said would now be in a rap.
Gotcha.
So like literally the two actors would need a rap battle. What just happened?
Okay. Can you rap your part then?
So yeah, well, no, I mean, like I say, like, I think the lights came up and, like, and like I was Amber Heard in the scene. So it's like, so basically I think I started like, like, look here, Johnny, here I don't know, what did I say? Or it was like, look here, Johnny, I'm about to take a shit. I like seeing you pitch a fit or something like that. Like that was, I think, how I started the scene. But
how did that? But you still don't. I still don't get it. How do you say you have a content, right? And then the rap kind of messed up your content, right? You want to keep your witty lines, but somehow in the rap when you try to rap, you kind of messed up your line, right?
Yeah. So you're trying to like simultaneously keep content, rhyme, and follow music.
Well, so what was the original content that you was gonna try to do, and what's the revised version that came out?
So, like, I mean, I think so. I don't know that it was necessarily in this particular. So, like, I was not in the bass scene, right? I was just in the repeated rap battle version of the scene.
Mm.
But like I guess when I think about like raps that I've screwed up badly, it's more like I think I get thrown when I miss a rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
So like for example, like we were doing a show where we got stories from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And like this woman like had a husband who was like seemed to be a saint because she was very obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
And like so I wanted to start the rap that I had to do like being by saying something like to the effect of like something to the effect of like because it was a rap battle again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like basically like, you know, I see you there like I see well, I want you to just sit there staring, you know, because you seem to be pretty overbearing.
Mm.
And basically I fucked up the rhyme, like, you know, like I sort of like the content was like, you know, just sit back because you're a total bitch. And like, so like, basically like, I think I sort of like in the first line, I sort of started like, I see, you know, it's like, I didn't end on staring. Like, you know, like so because I was so focused on the music, I like didn't end on staring. So then like overbearing didn't work. So it was like, and then I'm just like, and then because I'm not used to like following music or anything else, I just unravel because I'm like, I just need to be able to hit my rhymes and like, you know, I need to be able to hit my pre-planned shit or I just like, then everything goes out the window. So
how did you deal with that situation when you unravel on stage?
You just deal with it.
Like how?
Well, I mean, you do the best you can and you laugh it off.
Like, were you stuck? Or were you like, did you go blank and did you like just
no. At that point, like the end of the Johnny Depp scene, like by the end of the Johnny Depp scene, I was beginning to get to the point where I had like missed a rhyme and, you know, cause like rap battles can go on for a while. So it was like, I can't even remember what I ended on, but it was like the MC literally was like, David loves when I rap because he's like a legitimately good rapper, but like he, you know, so he enjoys like me stumbling through it. Like, you know, cause when I get to the end, it's like I sort of stumble through it, but you know, I mean, you still produce something that makes some semblance of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, basically when I rap, if I can get like 2 or 3 good lines in and hit 2 or 3 rhymes, I'm happy. So.
Okay. So why are you making sense? This is your journey try to make it main stage, right?
Yes.
So why are you making it?
Hopefully soon. I mean, I mean, I'll never be there. Like I say, there are a handful of people at that theater who are like legitimately very, very good at music. Mm-hmm. And it's like I bring something different. So, yeah.
Look, I've seen whose line it is it anyway, right? You know, They don't have to be great singers. They just have to be okay and say funny lines. And that's what people are looking for in improv, right?
Yeah. Well, so, yes. So, I mean, I bring the wit, or I try to anyway. So
I think that's the more important part for what you're doing.
Yeah. So, yeah. But I just want to be passively good at like musical games. So, that is that's very photogenic. But like the cat literally, like she didn't even move. She was like,
this cat is a boy. For all the listeners who don't watch, do we even put videos up anymore?
No.
Sorry, video listeners, you can't see. What happened was my cat settled down on the cat tree behind my desk. And it's just chilling.
well, he was very good about being like, that was a perfect picture.
Mm-hmm.
So
Anyway.
yes. So anyway, that's my journey in music.
It's exciting. Hey,
Yeah.
new thing, new chapter of your life, new skill, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's fair. You're always looking to grow in different ways. So someday I'll get I'll be able to do a strict muscle up, and I'll be able to sing better than I was able to sing the day before.
Can you do a non-strict muscle up?
No.
You cannot do a strict muscle up. Oh, you can. Oh, okay.
I mean, a strict muscle up's super hard.
Yeah.
No,
you can at least do a strict pull up, right?
Oh no, I'm back to better. Yeah, I can do 10 strict pull-ups now in a row.
All right.
So,
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, my muscle coordination is still utter garbage for bar-related movements like cleans and stuff, but I'm pretty comfortable on a pull-up bar now. And I can do a toes to bar, which I was very proud of myself for. So.
Yeah, is that like the app, like lift your legs? While
Yeah. So, yeah.
You just swing your legs up and touch the bar.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Do you do a strict toes to bar or a dynamic swinging toes to bar?
A kipping, yes. A kipping toes to bar, yes. So.
Also, I want to see a strict clean and jerk. None of this throwing the bar up. Just, slowly control.
Well, no, that's the issue I have is like everyone at CrossFit, right? Like they're all like very good about dynamic movement and can outlift me by 100 pounds at least. And, but it's like I do, like literally, like I did a, power clean the other day, and it was basically just a muscle clean. Like I was just like, cause I feel like I can get in my head about it's very, this is how it came up in my mind. Like, it's very similar to singing, and like singing, I need to like engage a lot of cognitive power to process the music and, process what I'm outputting. Mm-hmm. So for compound movements, I feel like when I'm really being really attentive to my form, I can get in my head so much that it's just like, I just do like a strict, basically like a strict press or like a strict clean. Like, it's just like, it's not like I'm not using the dynamics nearly as well as I should be. So, because literally like I kept the weight light. Like it was 115 pound power clean. It was not heavy. And I literally just like muscled it up. Like, it was just like, I had no hip pop there. Like it was just like a strict, muscle clean. And I was like, I just need to get out of my head. So, yeah. So, but
cool.
Someday I will be out of my head.
You'll be able to sing. You'll be able to sing while cleaning bars with, at least 150 pounds, maybe 200.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
Yeah, no, I mean there's 200 pounds, like anything overhead any kind of clean even that's like 200 pounds is pretty intense.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, is there anything else from yours all end?
Yours all end.
Yeah.
I think there's one topic, but I think I'm going to talk about it next time.
Okay.
Since you guys mentioned, we did not learn anything about the world, so I put in something startup idea. So I think we can save it for next time.
Okay. Shu always bringing in the hot investment opportunities.
Yeah, we have gone pretty long enough today, so.
Yeah. All right.
Wow. Let's end here. I think we still have other things to talk about anyway. I mean, after this.
Sounds good. We'll see you next time.
Junto Club.